Okay, so I left that last video on a bit of a cliffhanger because I had to go to work. Now I'm back from work. Um, I don't. I kind of don't like recording around this time because I don't know if y'all can tell or not, but the I have my light on up in here and the light is directly above my head, which gives me this menacing looking silhouette, and I don't like it because it covers my face a little bit. You know, it's already bad enough. Like, and you can kind of see the reflection on my screen a little bit better on my glasses. I gotta tilt my head down, but you can't see. This is all just darkness right there. So, but yeah, like I wanted to kind of do. I was thinking about this a while back, and I have a little bit of a story. The title of this video is going to make a lot of sense when I explain the story. Okay, so way, way, way back in the day, and in the old days of my having my account, I actually remember getting this one really peculiar comment on one of my old videos. I can't, it won't show now because some of the comments in like on my older videos are like locked. I don't know why. It could be copyright, it could be offensive material, or it could just be it's too old to do it to. I don't know the case, but the fact of the matter is that like in one of my videos a long time ago, I ended up getting this random comment. It was called well, not called. It was like, I love your videos. Me and my wife watches you every day, right? It was nice, but it was also a little peculiar that he included his wife into it. He could have just said we, you know what I mean? But then I did a little, I went into this person's profile, turned to find out that they're from India, of all places, which I mean makes sense. In that time frame, every other person on the internet was a dude from India. Now it's just now every other person from the internet is a racist. But the fact of the matter is though is that the fact of the matter is at that time this had to have been, was it like 2000, maybe 2010, maybe 2009. It was a long time ago. It was more than a decade ago for sure. But but it was like it was a nice thing, but it was also a little peculiar. It was different. It was weird. But I didn't think anything of it until I didn't think anything of it. Well, I did. I was much younger then. I thought everything about a lot of things back then. So it did kind of like bewilder me, but not enough for me to like obsess over it. Fast forward a few years later, I'm at my job, and I get this new manager. We one of my old managers left and went to go find another job, and we ended up getting a newer manager. And the new manager he was a cool guy. He was a cool dude. He was much younger than me, but much bigger. The dude was built like a linebacker. You know what I'm saying? And it just made me mad. I'm just in my brain. What do they feed these kids? Because my parents are my parents, like I'm guessing they're not exactly the tallest people themselves, but it's like my brother is taller than me. It's like, so what happened here? I'm like 5'6", 5'4". I don't know what I am, and these people are like 600 feet tall. In any case, I get this new manager. He's a cool guy. We're interacting with each other fairly frequently because we always had like similar shifts, and the subject of me having a YouTube account came about. And he says, "Oh yeah, I know. Me and my wife watch you all the time." I'm sorry, what? It was so specific. It was very specific. And in my brain, like looking back, I think maybe what he did was maybe he saw one of my old videos and like maybe saw that comment and just said it. You know what I'm saying? Just instinctively. But he is married. But the thing that really kind of messed my head up, about this though, was that like I had two channels. I have two channels. I have this channel and I have my wrestling channel. And the wrestling channel was the one that I was talking about. The one that the Indian guy didn't comment that on. So how did this dude know to say that thing? Like, and I'm like, okay, no big deal. Thanks for the compliment. I appreciate it. A little bit after that encounter, we started having lesser shifts together because he started, obviously, because he started to have to, move to. I think I was working like in the daytime and he was working at night, or I was either working at nighttime, he was working at daytime. We had like similar temporal shifts, but then he switched his, so I didn't see him that much. But I always wanted to ask him, what did you mean by that, right? It was just, and it was like I said, this was some years later after the case. Obviously a little, but it's like once again, it surprised me, but not enough for me to, not enough for me to hyper obsess over like that. But it still was like, what? Fast forward a few years later, I am in I'm in a group. It's called The Extraordinary Journey of a Black Nerd. Before I got kicked out of it, it was on Facebook. And I was in there for like a really long time. I think I would have been there for. I want to say I would have been there for a decade if I didn't get kicked out. Why did I get kicked out, you ask? Because I didn't find a joke funny. No killjoys, right? In any case, before I got kicked out, though, I clearly got a bit of a little minor following from that group, I'm guessing. And there was this one lady who obviously found me interesting enough to communicate with me because she knew I would want to be a professional wrestler, and she apparently posed herself as a wrestling fan. And so she works with like media and promotional work. So when she asked me to submit a picture of myself shirtless for like to do promotional pictures and stuff like that, I was like, okay, why not? And I did. My body is not the best. My body is never going to be the best. I've come to grips with that. I'm fat and hairy underneath all this. Like, I'm trying to make up for my fatness and hairiness by like working on my arms. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, I'm working on my arms and my chest to compensate for the fact that I'm gonna always have a belly, because like, I'm not willing to starve and dehydrate myself to get that cut look, But the fact of the matter is that like I sent her a picture. Like, also I was a lot skinnier back then. Like, nowadays I'm fat, but I was a lot skinnier back then. So like, but she was like, hey, send me a picture of you shirtless. I could like make a little promotional picture out of it, and I was like, sure, why not? You know what I'm saying? So I did that, and never got the promotional picture. I'm gonna assume that she's just still working on it. She was very busy when she asked me for that. In any case, though, there's probably a picture. If there's probably going to be a picture of me shirtless floating around somewhere, and it's going to be very, very, very. And it's not provocative. It's not like I'm. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? It's literally me trying to look as tough and as manly mass wrestler as possible. It's ridiculous because I was like really young when I did it. Not too young, by the way. So I'm still in that group. This is going to make sense. This is going to make sense later. Trust me. So I'm still in that group, and I go into a professional wrestling group and a black professional wrestling fan group, and it's the Nation of African American Wrestling, which apparently allows everybody that isn't African American. I don't know. It's a crazy group, but so I'm up in there, and I talk about how I'm genuinely want to be a wrestler, how I'm trying to get into action and trying to do these things, and I end up getting a random message by a dude who is, he applauds my journey, so to speak. And I told him, hey man, if you ever want to check me out, if you ever want to watch me, what I'm saying, I do chronicleize my journey on my YouTube page. If you want to see it, here's the link. And he says, oh yeah, I know already. Me and my wife watches you all the time. These are years ahead of each other, by the way, okay? I need y'all to understand exactly what makes this so surprising. On one instance, I'm referring to one of my channels. And my wrestling channel, and this person says, I watch your personal channel. No. Yeah. And then I go to this other guy. I say, I'm watching my wrestling channel. And he's like, yeah, me and my wife watch you all the time. These are like years ahead. These are like years between each other. I think one happened in one happened around like maybe 2010, 2011, around there. Another one happened in it had to be before 2016 because I was still in Louisiana at the time. And then the other one happened, I want to say in like 2019, if not 2020. These are years apart. Me and my wife watched your stuff. And I'm just trying to figure out, I sacked up a little bit and I asked him straight up, who is your wife? Turns out it's the lady who asked me for the shirtless pic. I don't know if they're actually married because dudes have a habit of saying, you know, ex girl, this is my girlfriend, this is my wife, and it's like, you know, without, you know, sometimes a girl be like, I don't even know this dude, right? I don't know anything. I didn't go any further into it. I'm just like, I'm in my brain. It's like, it's nice to know that people are watching my stuff. You know what I mean? But now, I mean, and it's like, and honestly, I like the idea of these guys being comfortable with their wives watching me just yap on camera or my old backyard wrestling stuff. But in my brain, I'm just like, how did I get this demographic? What is happening that there's couples out there that are watching my videos and going, yeah, we can watch this. Like, I went, and also it was like really kind of crazy too, because it was like the first one, it was in India, of all places, and then the next one was literally in my hometown, like literally personal encounter, and the other one was online, and so now everything. So I'm starting to think that me and my wife watches you all the time is like, you know, maybe I'm a sleeper agent and that's the code, and I just keep messing up. And I just keep like not understanding it because it's like, you know, wait, was I supposed to wake up after? What's going on? I'm confused. So now I'm just so like me and my I don't know, man. I don't. It's definitely one of those things that definitely kind of like, you know, it's definitely one of those things that I thought about because it's and the one thing I will say is I'm glad that the guys can I'm glad that, you know, if like, you know, whether or not it's real or fake or a joke or a prank or whatever, I'm glad to see that there's guys out there who's cool with their wives watching me without getting jealous of me. Because I can't stand jealous spouses or jealous boyfriends or anything like that. Because like there's dudes out there who really think that I have the capabilities to steal their girl. These dudes are much taller than me, much more physically fit than I am, better looking than I am, earn more money than me by a country mile, and somehow there's actually guys out there who look at me and go, "You stay away from my girl." What am I gonna do? Women look at me the same way they look. Most women look at me the same way that they look at roadkill and rotten food. Okay, so you got nothing to worry about, but it's just like. So it's like to hear a guy say, me and my wife watches you all the time. I mean, I take it as a compliment, and I also take it as like, you know, not only is it a compliment for me, but it's also just beautiful to see how their relationship is actually like doing well in that regard, that they could actually team up and watch some random guy. I'm pretty sure they probably might be watching my videos going, LOL, this guy's funny and we hate him. But it's like, what else, man? Thanks. You know, it's like. But it's a weird thing to say. Me and my wife watches you all the time because I'm just gonna type in thanks ? And that's it. That will always shock me. It will always shock and bewilder me. It's getting darker. But that's the part 2 of it. Love and peace and happiness to every single person out there. You know, being mean is mainstream, being kind is punk rock, be punk rock. Spread joy, spread happiness, spread peace, show kindness to each other. Like matter of fact, ask yourself this: what has cruelty fixed? What has cruelty fixed? Who benefits the most from cruelty? And what's wrong with being nice? That's my question. What's wrong with being nice to people? In any case, though, I'm gonna bounce. Thanks for sticking around, and we'll talk again later. Okay? Be cool.